Make sure to watch that one, because that's the one he was shooting.
Right here, the black one?
Yes. Don't touch it, just leave it there. Don't clear it.
After years of silence and speculation, Quando Rondo just did what no one saw coming. He shared the final recordings tied to the night King Von was killed. The footage kept under wraps until now is raw and emotional. Whether it's an attempt at closure or something else entirely, one thing's certain: people are talking loud. Why now? And what exactly do these recordings reveal about what really happened that night? The confrontation, Quando Rondo's perspective on the night, everything. The rap game got flipped upside down on November 6th, 2020. What started as a regular night outside Monaco hookah lounge in Atlanta turned tragic. Chicago drill star King Von, born Davon Daquan Bennett, was caught lacking and lost his life. Since that night, the streets have been buzzing. Footage has been leaking and everyone's had their own version of the story. Today we're breaking it all down, from Quando Rondo's side to the newly surfaced body cam footage from Von's. O-Block homies. Real talk. This is a story about being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and how one split-second decision can change everything forever. Receipts show King Von was posted up at Opium nightclub earlier that night before heading. The Monaco Hookah Lounge on Trinity Avenue. Between 3:20 and 4 a.m., everything went left, sending shockwaves through hip-hop culture. What makes this even crazier is we've now got actual statements from the main players involved. Quando Rondo, real. Named Tiquian Terrell Bowman, has spoken on the events multiple times. His interview with Angela Yee, he broke down how he ended up near Von that night. According to Quando, he wasn't on any gangster timing. He says he was just waiting for his boy Lil Tim to come back from the lounge so they could dip. Quando claims he was completely caught off guard when Von and his crew approached. Quando describes that moment like an out-of-body experience, like he was somewhere else entirely when things turned violent. That's when Timothy Lil Tim Leaks his day, one jumped in, and Tim himself later explained why he pulled the trigger.
In my head, I'm like, why somebody with my little brother, you feel me? It's like, that's what's really going through my head at the moment when it first pop off. I'm like, damn, like, but I'm gonna protect the person though. It's like, any brother I have, or any sister I have, or any family member I have, if anybody is bothering or doing something to anybody who I love, I'm gonna protect them regardless.
Protective instinct turned deadly. Real quick security footage caught the moment Von ran up on Quando and allegedly put hands on him, causing everything to escalate fast. Within seconds, Lil Tim started busting, and when the smoke cleared, 6 people had been shot, including King Von Mark Blakely, who also died from his wounds, and Lil Tim himself. Right after Von got hit, his squad rushed him to the hospital. TMZ even got footage showing Von being carried to a car that peeled off from. Despite their efforts, Von couldn't be saved. The very next day, November 7th, 2020, police arrested Timothy Lil Tim Leaks and charged him with felony murder in Von's death. When they booked him, Tim was still laid up at Grady Hospital getting treated for the gunshot wounds he took that night. He later posted a $100,000 bond in March 2021, adding more fuel to the fire. Then came the rumors. Stories started circulating about Von's alleged last words. His ex-Asian doll claimed Von texted, "Y'all let them get up on me. Stop crying. Y'all let them get me." That message made it seem like Von felt abandoned by his team during the fight, but Von's manager quickly called cap on that story, saying Von's actual last words were about showing love to Lil Durk and his fans. In a wild twist, the DA dropped the murder charge against Timothy Leaks in August 2023. The paperwork didn't say exactly why, but most legal experts believe it was due to Georgia's self-defense laws or issues with the evidence. What makes Von's death even more tragic is that it happened just as his career was taking off. His album Welcome to O-Block had dropped only a week earlier, and tracks like Crazy Story and Took Her to the O had already solidified him as one of the next up in the drill scene. Just 2 days before everything went down, Von was on camera looking like everything was all good.
King Von, bro! What's going on, boy? King Von in the hood, how we doing?
Body cam footage and what happened after. The night outside Monaco Hookah Lounge turned into a disaster for everyone involved. From court cases to street violence, the impact has been serious. But nothing shows how crazy things got like the new body cam footage that recently came out. It gives a raw look. At the chaos right after King Von was shot, the leaked footage shows key moments just after the shooting. While the full video isn't out for the public, people who've seen it, including law enforcement and street forums, say it shows O-Block's Louis firing at Lil Tim or cars connected to Quando Rondo's crew. The footage starts right after Vaughn got shot and keeps recording as the police pull up. Since late 2024, clips of it have been making the rounds online. It reportedly shows cops responding while O Block members were still shooting. In a later interview that went viral, Louis talked about that night and shared what Vaughn's mindset was during his final moments.
Said, yo, what happened with King Von that night, man? What happened? Why did y'all, etc.? And he was like, listen, man, King Von is his own man. If you want to do something, you can't stop him. He was like, that's just how...
The body cam footage also reportedly shows another one of Vaughn's affiliates from O Block firing at Lil Tim before getting fatally shot by Atlanta police. According to a report from Hype Fresh, this moment shows how fast everything spiraled. Out of control with multiple people shooting and the cops reacting with deadly force.
55-63.
75. Bro, search you. Get on the ground. I swear to God, if you move, I'm gonna shoot. Get on the ground. I ain't moving. Look, got my hands hurt.
The body cam footage also reportedly shows another one of Vaughn's affiliates from O Block firing at Lil Tim before getting fatally shot by Atlanta police. According to a report from Hype Fresh, this moment shows how fast everything spiraled. Out of control with multiple people shooting and the cops reacting with deadly force.
Make sure to watch that one because that's the one he was shooting. Right here, the black one? Yes. Don't touch it. Just leave it there. Don't clear it.
One of the wildest parts of the body cam footage is that it supposedly shows the moment O Block Louis got shot in the head during the shootout. At first, people in the streets thought Louis had died, but somehow he survived the headshot in the E. Video, you can hear police trying to help one of the victims, likely Louis doing everything they can to save him.
Stay with me. Fortunately, what supervisor on the charge on the scene?
This footage feels different from the old security videos that showed King Von and Quando Rondo facing off. While those clips captured how the fight started, the body cam footage shows the bloody aftermath as first responders rushed in. For Quando Rondo, the impact of that night hasn't stopped. In an interview, he talked about how much the situation has affected his life.
I ain't got no beef with nobody.
They said that you were the intended target in that situation.
All that you heard was cap. Nobody know what the really going on, bro.
Even though Quando Rondo claimed he had no beef, what looks like revenge has followed him. In August 2022, his cousin and close friend, Savaya Lil Pab Robinson, was shot and killed in Los Angeles. A viral video later showed Quando's emotional reaction to his friend's death.
Look, hey, what was that? I know, Baker. I know. What was it at?
In a major twist that ties everything together, Lil Durk, King Von's right-hand man, was arrested in October 2024 on federal charges for allegedly planning a murder-for-hire targeting Quando Rondo. According to federal authorities, that hit ended in the death of Quando's cousin, showing that the violence linked to Von's death didn't stop that night. It carried on for years. The legal fallout didn't end there. O Block Louis also reportedly faced charges for allegedly firing at Lil Tim during the shootout, according to Reddit discussions. While full details on those charges haven't been made public, it adds yet another layer to the already complicated legal mess surrounding the case. Timothy Lil Tim Leaks, who was originally charged with felony murder for Von's death, had his charges dropped in August 2023. While no official reason was given, legal experts believe it was likely due to Georgia's Stand Your Ground laws, which allow people to use deadly force in self-defense. For Quando Rondo, that night on November 6, 2020, changed everything. He said in several interviews that the incident hurt his career badly. It's been tough to book shows and keep his music moving. He stayed firm that there was no prior beef with Von, and that the whole situation was just a random encounter that escalated fast. In a later interview, Quando even expressed regret, saying things could have turned out differently. According to a report by Rhyme Junkie, Quando said the incident could have led to a big collaboration instead of tragedy, maybe even a track worth $3 or $4 million. Recently leaked body cam footage has added more pieces to the puzzle, while older security footage showed the fight between Von and Quando. The body cam videos show the aftermath. O-Block members like Louis and another unnamed associate allegedly firing back at Lil Tim, and police arriving to try to control the chaos and help the wounded. The legacy. Almost 5 years after that night in Atlanta, King Von's legacy still echoes throughout the culture. To understand his impact, you have to look at both his music and the life he lived before he was known for rapping Davon Daquan Bennett. Was navigating the rough streets of Chicago's South Side, born August 9, 1994. He grew up in Parkway Gardens, better known as O-Block, one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the city. That environment, full of gang violence and survival, shaped his life and gave him the real-life stories he later turned into music. Von got in trouble with the law early. At just 16, he was charged with armed robbery in January 2011. That landed him in juvenile detention, where he still managed to earn his GED. After his release, he briefly attended South Suburban College in South Holland, Illinois, showing signs of intelligence that would later come through in his music's detailed storytelling bars and legal battles. King Von's most serious legal battle came in 2014 when he was hit with murder charges related to a shooting in May. The incident took place at 5700 South Laswell Street in Chicago's Englewood neighborhood. Malcolm Stuckey was killed and 2 others were wounded. Von was charged with first-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder, charges that could have sent him to prison for decades, from July 2014 to December 2017. King Von spent over 3 years locked up in Cook County Jail while his case played out. That long pre-trial period cost him a big chunk of his early adulthood. Instead of working on his rap career, he was stuck behind bars. The case eventually collapsed when witnesses refused to testify, and Von was cleared of all charges in December 2017. Looking back on his time in jail, Von said it was an eye-opening experience that made him rethink his life. "When you locked up, you got all the time in the world to think," he said in an interview. "I knew I had to find something else to do with my life, or I was going to end up dead or in prison forever." While locked up, Von started writing rhymes. At the time, he didn't realize those early lyrics would become the foundation of his future music career. His time in jail also provided him with the real-life stories he would later use in his songs. Tracks like Crazy Story showed his gift for telling vivid street stories with an authenticity that hit different from the usual rap. In April 2014, Von was also questioned about the fatal shooting of Gakira Key Barnes, a known figure in Chicago's gang culture. No charges were filed at the time, but after his death, police documents revealed that Von was named as the alleged shooter, adding another layer to his complicated legal history. Even after his rap career began taking off, Von couldn't shake the legal troubles. In June 2019, both Von and his childhood friend Lil Durk were arrested in connection with a shooting outside a popular spot in Atlanta. Von was hit with robbery and aggravated assault charges, though the outcome of those cases remained unclear when he was tragically killed in November 2020. This pattern of legal issues highlights the struggles Von faced as he tried to leave the street life behind. Like many artists from tough backgrounds, his transition from the streets to legitimate success was messy and incomplete. It showed just how hard it is to escape old habits and environments, even when new opportunities arise. After his release in 2017, Von connected with his childhood friend Lil Durk, who signed him to his Only the Family label. This marked the start of Von's shift from street figure to recording artist. His debut single, Crazy Story, dropped in December 2018 and quickly gained attention. It showcased Von's unique storytelling skills and his authentic depiction of life in Chicago. What set him apart from other rappers was his narrative approach, using his own experiences to craft detailed cinematic verses that painted a clear picture of life. In O-Block tracks like Took Her to the O and Wayne's Story highlighted his ability to create compelling real-life stories. Characters and scenarios. King Von's impact on music and legacy. King Von's music earned comparisons to earlier narrative-focused artists like Slick Rick and Biggie. What made Von's music stand out was its raw authenticity. Unlike rappers who fabricate street life, Von's lyrics reflected the real-life experiences he had lived. This realness connected with listeners, especially those from similar environments who could relate to his stories. In addition to his solo work, Von had a treasure trove of unreleased tracks. According to his former manager, Track in a 2021 interview with DJ Vlad Vaughn had recorded around 300 unreleased songs, enough material for about 10 albums. This revelation kept fans eager for more and led to numerous leaks on platforms like SoundCloud and Reddit. February 2024, a Reddit post asking for unreleased King Von tracks flooded with suggestions showing how fans still crave his music. The most popular unreleased songs include NASA OG Heartless, Hard to Breathe, and several collaborations with Lil Durk like I Am No Auto Raincoat and Takeoff Champ. These unreleased tracks led to official posthumous album releases, such as What It Means to Be King in March 2022 and Grandson in July 2023. As of April 2025, a new project titled Unreleased Songs is set to drop. These ongoing releases keep Von's voice alive in the streets years after his death. What makes Von's legal history particularly interesting is how it directly influenced his music. Unlike rappers who lie about their criminal past, Von's songs reflected his true knowledge of street life and the justice system. Tracks like Crazy Story and Took Her to the O included details and perspectives that could only come from someone who had truly lived through those experiences. The connection between Von's criminal past and his music raises important questions about art, authenticity, and redemption. While his songs often glorified violence and crime, they also provided insight into the conditions that create such behaviors: poverty, lack of opportunity, and neglect of neighborhoods like O Block. Through his music, Von gave a voice to people in situations often overlooked or misunderstood by mainstream society. Von's shift from incarceration to musical success represented a rare chance at redemption, a chance cut short by the street violence he often depicted in his music. For many young people from similar backgrounds, Von symbolized the possibility of escape from the cycles of violence and incarceration. His ability to turn his struggles into art that resonated with millions showed how personal hardships could be channeled into creative expression. Von's legacy is not just in the tracks he left behind. It's a powerful reminder of the impact talent, opportunity, environment, and fate can have on a person's life. His story mirrors the narratives he told in his music, creating a cautionary tale for others trapped in similar environments. For a storyteller like Von, there's no more fitting memorial than for his life story to continue to resonate and educate long after he's gone. Thank you for watching.